Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to this week's weekly recap of our news items that has been covered by this channel in the course of the week. I know that you guys particularly look forward to this segment, and it has been quite a week in the news. So without wasting too much time, let's get straight into it. So we kick off with the beef that has been going on between Ghana and Nigeria. A lot of you may have seen a viral video of Ghanaian authorities going to forcibly lock up a Nigerian shop. This video was captured by the shop owner himself, and this video scenes has made the round across the length and breadth of Nigeria, and thus the Speaker of the House of Representatives was sent to Ghana to go and look into this matter. So this is all captured in this first video that I'm about to show you, so enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we're still in Ghana with the Kofis and the Kojos as the flame of this particular saga continues to blaze. Guys, I bring you this Ghana trip. Gbajabiamila list proposals to end attacks on Nigerian traders. So here is now Gbajabiamila in Ghana now in their capital city Accra, giving the Ghanaians clear instructions on how to conduct themselves. Again, the headline, Ghana trip, Gbajabiamila list proposals to end attacks on Nigerian traders. So now let's now see what instructions the House of Rep leader is giving to the Ghanaians. The House of Representatives Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, has listed efforts he made during his trip to Ghana to end attacks on Nigerian traders in the country. Nigerian traders in Ghana in recent times have accused the West African country of locking up their shops and subjecting them to other maltreatments. Consequently, Gbajabiamila on Wednesday embarked on a legislative diplomatic trip to Ghana to seek a solution to the problem. A statement released by his office on Thursday and signed by Lanre Lasisi, his special advisor on media and publicity, said the speaker made some far-reaching proposals that would bring an end to attacks on Nigerian traders doing business in Ghana. Gbajabiamila, the statement said, urged Ghana authorities to revisit the law on $1 million business capital during a legislative diplomacy bilateral meeting with Ghanaian lawmakers and some top government officials as part of his ongoing visit to Ghana to resolve the crisis. Gbajabiamila advocated for an amicable settlement of trade disputes through arbitration and fair judicial processes. The speaker also said he would be glad to champion a law to improve the bilateral trade relationship between Nigeria and Ghana, noting that citizens of the two countries remain brothers and sisters. He called on Ghanaian authorities to revisit the component of the law that requires a capital base of $1 million for businesses to start, saying as Africans, Ghana should encourage brotherliness. The statement reads. The statement went further to state the speaker's position in detail. First, amicable settlement of trade disputes through arbitration and fair judicial processes. In this context, we do believe that while it is the sovereign right of the government of Ghana to pass and implement the GIPC Act, and that is the act, of course, that is requiring Nigerians to pay them $1 million. So to pass and implement the GICP Act, we would implore you to explore alternative and less aggressive options of engaging, sanctioning, and relating with our traders and business people who operate in your country, pay taxes, and contribute to the development of both our nations. Secondly, we would encourage you to revisit the component of the law that requires a capital base of $1 million. We are all Africans. We all have towns, and villages, and we know only too well that majority of our traders across the continent are petty traders. The prospects of them being able to raise a capital base of $1 million before they can trade in goods that may be worth less than $1,000 clearly is a major challenge. Thirdly, one of the things we are proud about and the common surname that we all bear is ECOWAS. And as you know, by virtue of being ECOWAS countries, our nations and our citizens should be able to live, work, and thrive in any of our nations without any form of hindrance or discrimination. It is in this light we would encourage that we explore how the principles and the application of ECOWAS protocols, which we are all both signatory to, may perhaps conflict with the application of GICP Act, especially vis-a-vis the recent adoption of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement ICFTA by African nations, and also the movement towards a single currency in the West African sub-region. Fourth is the importance of strengthening legislative diplomacy and collaboration. Legislative diplomacy is a tool that has been used across the world, both in developing and developed nations, to negotiate, to arbitrate, and to find peaceful resolution to disputes between nations. Legislative diplomacy is akin to back channel diplomacy, which in many cases makes it more possible for countries to debate and find solutions to problems without any country losing face publicly. In this regard, I do believe that this step both our parliaments have taken to sit, to discuss, deliberate, and find solutions is a sterling example of legislative diplomacy which the rest of the continent can follow to ensure that while the executive arm of government is performing its duties, that we, the legislature, can also leverage our knowledge, our experience, the relationships we have amongst ourselves to complement efforts in finding collective solutions to our shared problems. Fifth, like I said right from the beginning, Nigeria and Ghana are siblings from the same family. I, for one, would be willing to champion a law that helps to improve the bilateral trade relationship and reciprocal legislation between our two countries. And in this regard, we would like to explore the possibility of jointly passing what we could potentially call a Nigeria-Ghana Friendship Pact or something in that line, which will help cement into law the good relationship between our countries and also create a legal framework for future comradeship that will enable us to ensure that when it comes to Nigeria and Ghana, our laws will support efforts to improve relationships, trade, and positive and friendly interaction between our citizens, institutions, and our governments. We do not have an exact title for such law as at now, but agreeing on reciprocal legislation that cements the friendship between our nations and ensures that it continues to thrive and benefit all our citizens, no matter where they live, would go a long way in strengthening our relationships at all levels. But Amila, also noting that the relationship between Ghana and Nigeria remained one of the most important in Africa, said that at a time the world is battling the C-19 pandemic and the economic impacts and the pressure on public coffers and service delivery systems are weighing heavily on all of us, it is clear that this is not a time for conflict and disagreement, but a time for partnership and solidarity. He said it is in a bid to improve the bilateral relationship amongst African countries that he has been championing the creation of the Conference of Speakers and Heads of African Parliaments, COSAP, aimed at identifying, discussing, and resolving issues and challenges that affect growth, stability, and development within different regions and across the continent. While our countries share a constructive and healthy rivalry in several areas, ranging from football to music, food, and movie production, amongst others, we know that our healthy rivalry is based more on friendship than enmity and more on healthy competition than destructive confrontation. We are friends, we are family, we are one and determined to remain so as we continue what our founding fathers started over 6 decades ago. These reasons, ladies and gentlemen, is why we are here to deliberate on how we can jointly overcome current challenges and together build the peaceful and prosperous future we both seek for our countries and our citizens. Gbajabiamila added. He said the challenges that Nigerian traders face in Ghana were a cause of deep concern for all arms of the Nigerian government and the Nigerian people, calling for urgent action to end the hostility. The escalation of tensions between our citizens and our nations is nothing for either of our countries to be proud of. And therefore, as I said today at the Nigerian High Commission, it is important that our leaders ensure that our utterances and our actions and what is reported in our media do not fan the flames of conflict and confrontation, but instead fuel the possibilities of first de-escalating tensions, finding constructive options for resolution, and working together to effectively implement those solutions, both here in Ghana as well as in Nigeria, Gbajabiamila said. Speaking, the Ghanaian Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Alan, I'm not even going to attempt his surname, his last name is just some conk Ghanaian name, so we just call him Honorable Alan. So, speaking, the Ghanaian Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Alan, said there were many Ghanaians and Nigerians who are going about their lawful duties without difficulties. The incidents that has occurred where some shops were locked up must have risen out of situations where there were clear abuses of the application of the law. I was happy that the Nigerian Speaker of House of Representatives mentioned that if they were doing legitimate business, please allow them as brothers and sisters to continue to do so. I want to give you that assurance that that will be the case. Anybody engaged in business, trading, doing the rightful things, they must have no difficulties. Even in cases where we found that in some instances where the laws were not being followed, I, in my capacity as the Minister of Trade, had ordered that they shut the office and those who are being seen as offending the law be given an opportunity to regularize their documentation. I say this, being the Minister of Trade and Industry, this is not something that is new. I have always, since the time I have been a minister, found a way of going along so that those who needed to regularize their businesses would do so. Also, as indicated by the Speaker, that it will be a desire to see whether certain aspects of the law could be looked at. I am sure the Speaker will look at that request and appropriate committees will engage on the subject. As long as the laws remain on our statute books, I would like to request that you send a strong signal to our brothers and sisters who are engaged in retail trading that, at least for now, until further consideration are made on our statute books, they should just respect the law, because Ghanaian traders themselves are required to respect the law of our country. And in that sense, it will be discriminatory for us to require Ghanaians to respect the same law in our statute books and not require foreigners to do so. So said the man with a funny Ghanaian name. So the funny Ghanaian name speaks last, but he's doubling down, of course, on their position. This is negotiation, you have to understand. So they are tasking the Nigerians in their space, because of course they see Nigerians as wealthy people. So anytime they see Nigerians in Ghana, the only thing they see is dollar signs, because the average Ghanaian thinks the average Nigerian is a millionaire and a billionaire because of our large and our expansive rather lifestyle. So the average Ghanaian, including their government and all of their authorities, they think every Nigerian is a millionaire, and they think if they sweat them hard, then they can milk money out of them. So the trade minister, of course, he's doubling down on their position that this is their legislative position. But fair enough, if that is their legislative position and that is the law on their statute books. But this law on their statute books only seems to be applying to Nigerians, because there's a lot of monitoring of the goings on in Ghana at the moment, and there are no reports of Chinese shops being shut down, or other African shops being shut down, or Arab shops being shut down, or European shops being shut down in Ghana. It is specifically and singularly Nigerian shops that are being shut down. So you have to look at this then from two strands. One, Nigerians are perennial lawbreakers, and they are breaking the laws in Ghana because, of course, they don't even have regard for their own laws in their own country. So that's one way to look at it, and that, of course, is the general Ghanaian sentiment. That is what the average Ghanaian on the street will tell you. But the second way to look at it, which would make more sense, is that these people are specifically targeting Nigerians because there's some sort of beef there. There's an underbelly of resentment towards Nigerians, which is largely based on envy, of course, because of the wealth and the might and the capacity and the confidence and the large personality of Nigerians and Nigeria. So there's a lot of resentment from pretty much a lot of African countries, but especially Ghana, towards Nigeria, because of course the arrogance of the Nigerian is just an innate thing within him, and he carries himself with authority, and he will take all of their women and make more money than them. So they resent all of that, and this is really why this is in play, because you cannot say that Nigerians are breaking the law. That is why they are going after them, because those laws, if they are real laws, then they will be infracted right across the board. So it might well be that there are more of these types of people breaking the law than others, but at least we will be seeing examples of this happening to others as well. So I am yet to see, and I've done a good search, I am yet to see either a written recording, an audio recording, or a video recording, or any form of reporting of a Chinese shop or an Indian shop or any other shops within the Ghanaian space being shut down and aggressively approached in Ghana in the same manner that Nigerian shops and businesses are being attacked. So clearly then, of course, you have to conclude they're specifically targeting Nigerians, and the Ghana Minister of Trade is doubling down on our positions that we will continue to attack you until something gives. So maybe they think that they are going to get a payoff from the Nigerian government. He will get his own bag of dollars, of course, because Nigerians, they especially the Nigerian state, they usually operate on a brown envelope sort of mentality. I think Rawlings was bribed by Abacha and all of this sort of nonsense. So the Ghanaians, they know full well that if you pressure Nigerians, then you get a payoff. So this trade minister, of course, is trying to squeeze hard on Nigeria and Nigerians to get his own brown envelope to go and buy his own house in London, because of course he knows that it's a wealthy country and a corrupt country. So that's one element. The other element, of course, is all of the resentments that I have already spoken about. But then the fallout of this is, when it comes to the breaking point, there's only one person that will yield, and it will be Ghana, because Nigeria is a more potent force than Ghana in any way that you want to measure life. It's a vastly larger economy. As I said previously, Nigeria is the 30th, that's 30, largest economy in the world. And I don't even think that Ghana made the chart. It's just some other small little African country that people go there on holidays and they do all this year of returns, and all of these black Americans are doing videos there and they are making noise. But really, Ghana is Ghana, but Nigeria is Nigeria. So don't push it too hard. If you want a little bit of maybe like $1 million or even $10 million to go and buy yourself an apartment in London and go and get some white babes or whatever it is that the Ghanaian trade minister is after, that is squeezing for money from Nigeria, you can have that, but settle down, Kofi or Kwesi or whatever your name is, settle it down. Because if you push it too hard, if we shut the borders from Seme and say, okay, carry on, then all of these countries will collapse, because the entirety of the economy of Benin and Togo, and a good 30 to 40%, if not even 60% of the economy of Ghana is dependent on Nigerian trade. If Nigeria shuts these people off, they will collapse within half a year. There's absolutely no question about that. There will be riots on their streets, they will be cannibalizing each other, and they will go back to a state of nature sort of being. So calm yourself down again is the recurring decimal that Gbajabiamila Miller is sending to the Ghanaians. But do they have the cranial functions to understand what is being said to them? That's the $1 million question. Come give your $1 million answers to this question in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Then which way Ghana is the question? Come give your answer in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. Next, we're going to Aso Rock and we're going to attend a wedding. The daughter of Malam Buhari and Aisha Buhari, the daughter's name Hanan, is getting married to a guy called Turad, and this of course always has a twist, as it is Nigeria, and the twist and plot of it is all explained in this second video, so enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we're still with the Hanan Buhari wedding. Like everything else in Nigeria, it never just goes smooth and neat and tidy. It has to have some sort of comma inside it. Guys, I bring you this: event planners, others flown in from Dubai for lavish wedding of President Buhari's daughter Hanan. So of course, I mean, there has to be a lot of spend on this sort of wedding, especially when they have an open check to the sovereign wealth of the Nigerian state. And the first warning was when Aisha Buhari went to Dubai to do the shopping. So already we knew that it was going to be an open checkbook wedding, and an open checkbook wedding it has been, as again, event planners, others flown in from Dubai for lavish wedding of President Buhari's daughter Hanan. So now let's now get the details of this wedding. The wedding ceremony between President Muhammadu Buhari's daughter Hanan and her groom Mohammed Turad on Friday had all the trappings of a fairy tale nuptial. Apart from the opulence on display, correspondents reliably gathered that event planners for the wedding were flown in from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, to add color and spice to the ceremony. Recall that in August, it had been revealed how the First Lady and mother of the bride, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, flew to Dubai in a private jet owned by billionaire Mohammed Indimi under the guise of a medical emergency to shop for luxury items ahead of Friday's wedding. It was reliably gathered on Saturday that most of the items, including souvenirs used for the occasion, were brought in from the Arabian country. The wedding, which had security personnel prohibiting guests from taking photographs, saw the event planners and other vendors flown in from Dubai pocketing huge amounts in US dollars for their services, apart from the cost of bringing them into the country. Apart from being against the President Buhari's administration's drive to promote local content, the importation of vendors from Dubai also flouted the ban in non-essential travels in and out of Nigeria at this time. Government banned international flights from coming into and leaving the country in March in order to curb the spread of C-19 in Nigeria. The elaborate ceremony comes a few days after the administration of President Buhari increased the pump price of premium motor spirit, widely known as petrol, from 145 naira to 161 naira, causing many households untold crises, following the attendant effect on the prices of basic commodities, including food items. In a video of the lavish ceremony, dubbed the first wedding for being the first of its kind to hold inside Aso Rock, Nigeria's seat of power, and seen by correspondents, guests numbering about 10 sat close to each other on a table, breaching the C-19 safety protocol of government in the process. Earlier on Wednesday, it was revealed how some guests for the wedding were declining the invitation over fear of contracting C-19, especially after it emerged that the president's closest aide and senior special assistant on domestic affairs, Saki Abba, had recently recovered from the virus. Abba, who has since resumed duties after recovering from the virus, was considered still unsafe to mingle with others inside the presidential villa by some persons, including the First Lady. In order not to expose her family and guests at the wedding, Mrs. Buhari vowed not to allow Abba to attend the wedding as a result of this situation. She also opposed the idea of Maman Daura, a nephew and close confidant of Buhari, attending the event despite the president's insistence that he be part of the occasion. This situation sent panic amongst some guests who chose not to attend the ceremony and risk their health. But despite the absence of some prominent Nigerians at the occasion, Friday's wedding between Hanan and Turad had all the glitz and sparkle synonymous with such caliber of events. Turad is the son of an ex-lawmaker from Kaduna State, while Hanan, one of Buhari's daughters, is a graduate of photography from Ravensbourne University in England, who in July 2019 ordered the Department of State Services to arrest a young businessman based in Delta State, Anthony Okolie, after he was issued a mobile number by telecommunications company MTN, previously used and abandoned by her. Okolie spent 10 weeks in unlawful detention before he was finally released by the secret police. Earlier in January, Hanan was again in the news after she attended an event to photograph a Doba by Riwanu Adamu, Emir of Bauchi, in one of the jets in the presidential fleet. The move was condemned by Nigerians, but the presidency defended the action by saying that it was normal procedure. So normal procedure, of course, to import party planners from Dubai. Look at just all of the rules that has been flouted. It's just every rule in the Nigerian rule book has been flouted to have an opulence, to facilitate for an opulence and a lavish wedding for this girl, who is a perennial rule breaker, by the way, within the Nigerian space. Her litany of rules breaking is already, some of them are already detailed in this particular piece. So this is now the situation now. So in every way, this is just a mess, really. So not only were these people flown in from Dubai at great expense, and who covers that? Definitely not Buhari signing a check from his own account. The central bank will take care of that. And not only were these people flown in, they were then given words of dollars as gifts, like a large brown envelope. I'm imagining now, like a large brown envelope filled with dollars were gifted to these people who were already flown in, haven't had their accounts pumped with money, who were flown in for this event. They were then gifted again these large sums as gifts. So this is now the goings on now. Party planners from Dubai, first lady going to shop, flouting lockdown rules, etc., etc. All of it, of course, the benefactor being the Niger Delta oil well, but then the Niger Delta daughter, she is marrying the man with two singlets, and they're just buying some small cake and cutting it, and their parents are saying, well, God bless you, as the man drives his Okada and the girl goes to her shop to go and sell provision. This is the life in the Niger Delta, where all of the wealth of Nigeria is. But where all the wealth of Nigeria is being spent is this lady now, this young girl really, Hanan, who will use the presidential fleet as taxi, kabu Uber ride, and then her mother will take the nation's checkbook to go to Dubai to go and buy a wedding for her, and then fly that wedding all the way from Dubai to Abuja, and then package the people who have come to carry out their duties as events planners, package their bags filled with dollars as they make their way back to Dubai. And this, of course, in the same breath that they are telling you that the price of petroleum has now gone from 145 naira to 161 naira, and this is Nigeria for you. Conversations in the comment section. Well, I don't really need to embellish this anymore. You've seen it all with your own eyes, but what you're making of it is what I am interested in. So come tell me all about it in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Then this spendthrift attitude of the Buhari regime. By the way, Goodluck Jonathan said he left well in excess of 30 billion dollars in the account when he handed over to Buhari, but then Buhari told us that he met the coffers empty. So that 30 billion dollars is not the foreign reserves, is not the national security wealth, but an extra on top of, so something for you to start off fund for the Buhari regime. $30 billion between Goodluck Jonathan handing over and this guy taking over. The story of the disappearance of $30 billion lies between those two sequences, and we're talking about what, a week, no more than 6 weeks, $30 billion. You'll recall, of course, that it took this guy 6 months to appoint anybody, because anyway, you can speculate on that. But whatever your speculations are, come tell me all about it in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So next up, we go to Madam Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. So fed up with being Nigerian, this lovable lady has decided to do something about it. And this is all detailed in this next video. So enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, anybody having a problem with this lady is going to have a problem with me, because this lady has had enough of a good look before this decision was made. As guys, I bring you this. WTO Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala takes up American citizenship. So Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, of course, you don't get more Nigerian than that lady. She has served her country at the highest level, and she has done all she can to advocate the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians. But then, of course, the Malamis. So now, having now had enough and haven't gotten to that stage in life, she is now seeking to protect herself and her own, as again, WTO Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala takes up American citizenship. So now let's now see how the lady explains this. Former Minister of Finance Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has taken American citizenship. This is coming after more than 30 years after the former two-time minister studied in the United States. Bloomberg reports that Okonjo-Iweala actually took U.S. citizenship in 2019 as she fought for the position of Director General of the World Trade Organization, WTO. According to Bloomberg, most of the candidates battling for the position with the Nigerian boast of dual citizenship, which experts believe may boost their chances at getting the much coveted job. The other candidates for the positions, such as Jesus Saudi Kuri, is a Mexican and Lebanese. Also, Amina Mohammed, a Kenyan minister, is also Somali, and Abdel Hamid Madu is both Swiss and Egyptian. Nigeria's former Minister of Finance worked in the United States for well over 25 years without taking up its citizenship. However, this affected her when she ran for the president of the World Bank in 2012 because she was not backed by the United States, losing the seat to Korean American Jim Young Kim. So a career move first, and then a personal move too, because of course being a Nigerian is a negative and not a positive on the international scene. We all know this. We can all be proud Nigerians, and you don't get more proud a Yoruba man than I am. But we have to be honest with ourselves too. Carrying that green passport is a negative in any point of entry and in residence in any space anywhere in the world. Even in Ghana now, they are flogging us in Ghana, they flog us in the UK, they flog us in America, they flog us in Germany, they flog us in Asia, they flog us everywhere. Anywhere you carry that green passport to, you get a flogging. So now, tired of being dished the koboko, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has now decided that, look, I have lived a good percentage of my life in the United States of America, so why don't I just become American? Because, of course, when you carry that American passport as opposed to carrying a Nigerian passport, then you are treated as a champion rather than a pauper or a 419, as we have to be honest, that is how they see us internationally. So, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has finally seen sense, and she has crossed the Rubicon to the other side. So, now it's hamburgers now rather than Eba and Eforiro for Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. What says you? Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come join me in the comment section, then come tell me what you're making of this move that this lady has made. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So with the next video, we're going to the show business arena and we're talking Tiwa Savage, Don Jazzy, etc. So these now celebrities have had a run-in with the authorities, i.e. the DSS, but this is all explained in this next video. So enjoy. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, to say that Nigeria is turning into a police state would be the wrong thing to say. Nigeria is actually a full-blown police state. Guys, I bring you this. DSS quizzes Nigerian musicians Don Jazzy, Tiwa Savage over alleged political utterances against President Buhari's government. So yes, guys, we have now degenerated to that level. This is now where we are in the cesspit that is the Nigeria. Details have emerged on how Nigerian music producer Michael Ejire, widely known as Don Jazzy, and Tiwa Tope Savage, popularly known as Tiwa Savage, were invited by the Department of State Services for questioning over alleged political utterances against the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. In recent months, following a sharp rise in incidents, I'm not going to describe the incidents for reasons of YouTube, but they're incidents relating to women. So I shall be using coded words in some bits for reasons of YouTube. So I'll take that from the top again. In recent months, following a sharp rise in incident cases across Nigeria, especially against women, Tiwa Savage began a movement known as We Are Tired in protest of the situation. Through the movement, the musician called on Buhari's administration to take action to stem the tide of these incidents in the country. According to findings by correspondents, this is in addition to several posts on social media calling on the government to live up to its responsibility to Nigerians, which earned Tiwa Savage an invitation by the DSS. Together with Don Jazzy, Tiwa Savage was invited to DSS office in Lagos 2 weeks ago, during which they were warned to be careful with what they post on social media. Shortly after that episode, the two celebrities, together with colleagues Yemi Alade and Waje, were summoned by the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Hakeem Odumosu, who, whilst sharing efforts they were making to tackle the incidents and other problems in the state and country, warned the musicians to steer clear of political comments in order not to incur the wrath of the President Buhari administration. A member of Tiwa Savage's management team, who confirmed the development to correspondents, said that the celebrated female artist will not stop speaking for Nigerians regardless of any move by the government. But as if to confirm the subtle warning from the government, Don Jazzy and Tiwa Savage both appear to have toned down their social media posts in recent days after the meeting with the DSS and the police in Lagos. For example, Don Jazzy, who is known to actively engage his numerous followers on social media, last posted anything on Twitter more than 24 hours ago, whilst Tiwa Savage never continued with a hashtag after the meeting with DSS director at their Shangisha Lagos office. Apart from the two celebrities, the DSS also invited a former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Obadiah Malafia, over his comments on the operations of BH in the northern part of Nigeria. Whilst speaking on a radio program, Malafia stated that a serving governor in the north was the commander of BH. He was invited twice for questioning by the DSS and also invited for interrogation by the police in Abuja, which he turned down by seeking a relief in court. So this is now the situation now. So if you are still thinking that Nigeria is turning into a police state, you are behind the steps of the zeitgeist of the moment. Nigeria is now a full-blown, full-fledged police state. They are rounding people up for criticizing bad governance whilst governing the country badly. So this is the situation that the country finds itself in, between the devil and the deep blue sea. It is quite unconscionable, really. I mean, imagine that an artist is saying that, look, all these things are going on against women and the government should take a more aggressive position the government should be up and doing in this regard, which is something that you would expect an artist to say, especially a female artist like Tiwa Savage. And off the back of that, she's picked up by the DSS. Showore calls for good government, he's picked up by the DSS. Don Jazzy calls for good government, he's picked up by the DSS. Malafia, Obadiah Malafia, he said that, look, this is where the problem is. Go there and really, look, go and identify these people and shut this thing down because it's running amok. He is picked up and questioned and detained by the DSS. He now has his liberty, because I don't think Obadiah Malafia is in DSS custody as we speak. But really, anybody that makes any comments, but these are prominent names, by the way, and this is why we're hearing this, and this is why they are releasing them quickly. So if you are just Omotamo, the son of nobody, somebody that doesn't have a name within the Nigerian space, they can just pick you up and keep you there for years on end. And I'm pretty sure that there are people there now for years on end. And this is the system now in the Nigerian space. Remember, of course, that they're still trying to secretly pass the social media bill, or whatever, the anti-social media, the anti-free speech bill, effectively, is what they're trying to pass within the Nigerian space, to say that if they consider your information, whatever you are posting either on your social media space or on your media platforms or in your newspaper, if they consider it to be injurious to the state, then there's a penalty, which is like the final penalty that a human being can pay. I don't want to use the term, but you know what that is, the final penalty that a human being can pay, that will be the punishment for it. So effectively, a gagging order against free speech, an anti-free speech bill. And who is sponsoring this bill is, of course, a senator from the north, from their areas, and now they are trying to use that to gag the media in Lagos. Conversations in the comment section. Tiwa Savage and Don Jazzy are the latest names to add to the list of the people that have called for good governance in Nigeria and paid a heavy price for it. What's it? You come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Then come join me in the comment section between Nigeria and how sustainable is this thing that Malam Buhari and his band of merry men are doing. That is the question. Come give me your answers in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So now we round it off with a story that we have been following on this channel over the course of the last few weeks or so. We're talking about a case that is going on presently in London between the Nigerian state and an American firm called PNID. This case involves possibly costing the Nigerian state $10 billion, but there is a twist, and that twist is all detailed in this next video. So enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, Nigerians continue to talk about 2023. They chant 2023 as though that will be the panacea to the myriad of problems that afflict that our country. But of course, will that 2023 come? And if it does come, what will it bring? Because we're setting it, of course, against the background of these fantastically corrupt, as David Cameron described it, regime of Malam Buhari, especially one of the most corrupt, in fact, the most corrupt regime that the country has ever experienced. Is just taking money now. They're not even looting or stealing, they're just carting the money away. So there's the corruption, and then of course there's the banditry, and then especially there's the cluelessness and lack of competence. And the biggest problem really is that last one, the cluelessness and the lack of competence. This is really costing the Nigerian nation vastly. So a tale of woes is what continues to repeat within the Nigerian space, as guys, I bring you this. Firm lists 33 Nigerian properties in United Kingdom, begins sales over government's refusal to pay damage cost. So this is of course UK, England, Britain, etc. And of course there's a court ruling against the Nigerian government just from the headline. And of course because they don't abide by court rulings in Nigeria, they think that is what obtains everywhere else. But then of course they're about to learn differently. So again, the headline: Firm lists 33 Nigerian properties in United Kingdom, begins sales over government's refusal to pay damage cost. So now let's see what this is all about. At least 33 properties owned by the Nigerian government in the United Kingdom have been identified, and some are at risk of being forfeited due to a damage cost awarded to an energy firm, Urafric Power Limited, by a London Court of International Arbitration, which was endorsed by a UK High Court. It's been reported. The development comes as Nigeria continues to battle another firm, PNID, which is attempting to seize $9 billion Nigerian assets. In the fresh case with number CL-2017-00781, a UK High Court ordered the payment of $2.5 million, 225.949.19 pounds, and 57.9 million naira, a combined 1.12 billion naira, based on the current Central Bank of Nigeria's exchange rate. According to documents made available to correspondents, the legal tussle emanated from a contract entered into by the Nigerian government and Urafric Power Limited in February 2013. The firm entered into a share sale agreement with the Bureau of Public Enterprise and the Federal Ministry of Finance, both acting on behalf of the Nigerian government. The deal involved the purchase of Sapele Power PLC, owners of Sapele Power Station, at a cost of $201 million. The purchase included material properties and core assets of the company, which listed site land as one of its properties. Pursuant to the share sale agreement, the National Council on Privatization issued share certificate 0001 to Urafric Power Limited on February 10, 2014, approving the sale of the federal government's equity in Sapele Power PLC. A certificate of handover with number 0002 also showed the handover of Sapele Power PLC to Urafric Power Limited. All assets, liabilities, employees, rights, and obligations of the Power Holding Company of Nigeria were also handed to Sapele Power PLC, now owned by Urafric Power Limited. However, trouble started when, after the handover had been completed, the Nigerian government and the Niger Delta Power Holding Company began arrangements to transfer a substantial portion of the premises already sold to Urafric Power Limited to one Ogorode Power Generation Company. The government insisted that the portion it transferred did not form part of the sold assets. The firm subsequently commenced arbitration against the Nigerian government in the United Kingdom in line with the agreement signed by the parties. A tribunal was set up comprising a former Attorney General of Pakistan, Makhdoom Ali Khan, as chairman, with a retired Nigerian Supreme Court Judge, Justice Samson Waifo, and a former Attorney General of the Federation, Chief Bayo Ojo SAN, both named as co-arbitrators. On September 28, 2017, the arbitral tribunal ruled in favor of Urafric Power Limited. A UK High Court presided over by Justice Popul Well subsequently recognized the award as a court judgment. A copy of the judgment dated January 15, 2018 reads in part, the defendants are jointly and severally ordered and directed to pay to the claimant the following amount: $2.5 million as legal cost, 215.930.60 pounds as an advanced payment on cost, and 57.9 million naira, 10,018 pounds and $11,158 as disbursement. All other claims and counterclaims are dismissed. The court further stated that the defendant had 30 days to appeal, after which the claimant would be free to enforce the judgment. In a letter expressed to the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami SAN, Eurafric Power Limited called on the Nigerian government to honor the court judgment and pay immediately. In the letter dated October 23rd, 2019, which was signed by its lawyer Godwin Obla SAN, the firm stated it had identified 33 of Nigeria's properties in the UK which were not being used for diplomatic purposes, adding that it would liquidate some of the assets soon. The letter reads in part, in our view, the identification of the 33 properties by the Foreign Council may pose a significant risk to the interest of the federal government of Nigeria if or when the report is tendered before the UK court, at which stage it becomes a public document and accessible to any member of the public. As it is now common knowledge, in the wake of the global publicity attracted by the P&ID case, Nigerian assets abroad now stand the increased risk of seizure/forfeiture for the liquidation of judgment debts. In our opinion, therefore, it will not augur well for potentially hostile interests to gain access to actionable information of the federal government of Nigeria's assets in the United Kingdom, such as are contained in the report of the Foreign Council. So this is now the situation we find ourselves in now. We are now seeing it with this latest development yet again. So they are now identifying Nigerian assets abroad now, and it's the first comes first served principle that is at play here, because they are seeing that these people, they don't really understand what the rule of law means, and they don't really know what a court judgment means, because of course they just dismiss a court judgment out of hand in their own country. So when they then come to the United Kingdom and a court gives a ruling and you think you can dismiss it as you do in Nigeria, then quickly they move against your assets. So these people, they are now identifying that these people are ignoring court judgment. So the first person to move then to seize control of Nigeria's assets internationally within whichever geographical space that court judgment obtains will be the winner, because there are plenty of them with judgments against Nigeria, and they're still circling and moving back and still saying that they are negotiating. But these people, they've moved quickly to move against the assets, because there's no negotiating with Malami. Even if he's willing, he's unable, because he does not have the function, he does not have the capacity. Let me even check which school the guy went to. Just give me a moment. Okay, so this is the guy we're contending with. The guy went to Usman Danfodio University in Maiduguri. So this is the person now that is going to London to fight a case. The guy went to Usman died, never even knew that such a thing existed. Usman Danfodio University in Maiduguri, and of course you know that Maiduguri is the capital of Borno State, and we all know that Borno State is being ceded out of Nigeria towards the hands of the people that now control it. You all know who they are. So this is now the situation, and you're expecting this guy to function. Somebody that went to Usman Danfodio University in Maiduguri, you are telling us that that is the senior advocate of Nigeria, over and above all of the Nigerian sets that went to Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, Yale, etc., Howard. All of these are internationally experienced and experienced within the Nigerian legal system. You couldn't find one. It is Usman Danfodio University that is the ruler and the oversight of the Nigerian laws. And you're wondering why all of these things are happening. Conversations in the comment section, it looks as though this Euro-Afrique or whatever their name is, they're the cleverest of the bunch because they've moved very quickly to seize control of Nigeria's assets, and of course they just either sell it on or just own it for themselves. This is really the move. I would make this move as well, of course, if I had a judgment against the Nigerian state. Come share thoughts, but before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come tell me then this rather cack-handed cluelessness and this rudderless nonsense that we're contending with are just latching from one disaster to the other. And this is why I'm saying that people that are waiting for 2023 are just whistling in the wind. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So those are the 5 videos for this week. I hope they met with standard and to your liking. So now you come tell me then in the comment section what you make of the selection for this week. Did you particularly enjoy one video more than the other? Did you enjoy all of them? Do you have an opinion on what you have heard? Come share all of this with me in the comment section. But before you do this, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come engage me in a conversation about the sequence of videos that you have heard. So I'll leave you here. Carry the conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.